I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975, Chapter 231. This agenda is complete to the extent known. It was sent to the Trenton Times and the Trentonian newspapers, posted on the first floor bulletin board in City Hall, filed in the City Clerk's office, and posted on the City of Trenton website. Formal action will be taken. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Present.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Present.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Present.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilman Harrison.
Present.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present.
And Council President Feliciano.
Present.
Myself, Brandon Garcia, Municipal Clerk, present. And I believe Mr. Kaloji is excused from this meeting. And I believe Mr.
Director Bridges is in
Director
transit.
Bridges is en route. Thank you.
Yes,
And Madam President, if you wish, I will now read the invocation.
thank you.
Almighty God, who holds the fate of man and nation, we most humbly beseech thee to bless this, our city, these deliberations, and these thy servants, that they may act with wisdom and understanding for the good of our community and thy greater glory. Amen.
Amen.
Council President, at this time, I believe you have some recognitions. And if you want to announce those yourself, or if you would like me to, it would be my pleasure.
Thank you. Yes, actually, Councilwoman Gonzalez and I, along with members of council, are very pleased tonight to honor the National Pan-Hellenic Council, the Mercer region. Councilwoman Gonzalez and I are members, proud members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh. We'll be approaching 7 years on April 22nd of this year. And so we found it fitting, especially we were going to do it earlier, but the weather got in the way. But it is fitting during Black History Month that we do salute each and every one of us and all of you and your tremendous efforts that you give to the communities here in the city of Trenton and at large. And so as our way to acknowledging all of you and to say thank you, we present you all with the following. The following is a resolution honoring the National Pan-Hellenic Council Mercer region. Whereas a group of 9 historically Black Greek letter organizations called the National Pan-Hellenic Council, also referred to as the Divine Nine, have had a long and successful history of promoting unity, service, and community involvement. And
whereas the National Pan-Hellenic Council Mercer region consists of the following sororities and fraternities: Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
And whereas the members of these illustrious organizations have made significant contributions to our community through philanthropic efforts, mentorship programs, educational initiatives, civic awareness, engagement, and advocacy for social justice.
And whereas these sororities and fraternities have consistently upheld the values of scholarship, leadership, and service, positively impacting the lives of countless individuals throughout the nation.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Council President Crystal Feliciano, a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Trenton Alumni Chapter, and Councilwoman at Large Yasminelli Gonzalez, a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Trenton Alumni Chapter, along with the entire City Council of the City of Trenton, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, hereby recognizes the National Pan-Hellenic Council Mercer region and these outstanding sororities and fraternities for your unwavering dedication to strengthening our communities through education, promoting unity, service, and awareness. Thank you for being positive beacons of light for the capital city and the nation. presented this 8th day of February 2024. Mr. Rice, if you'd like to come forward, brother, and say a few words.
And just to let everyone know, each fraternity and sorority will also receive a certificate from the city council members as well.
Hit the button to turn the mic on.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, there you go. Again, good evening, City Council, members of the public. You kind of took the thunder away from my speech, so I'll just say on behalf of the Mercer Regional Panhandle Council, we thank you for this recognition. We do this out of a lifelong obligation and commitment to our organizations that we represent. Whether it's scholarships, whether it's volunteering, we do this out of our needs just to give back to the community what they've given us. So again, we don't do it for awards or for accolades, but we do appreciate the public knowing and acknowledgements that come through, especially through City Council, for the work that we've done here in Trenton. So again, thank you all who made this possible. Good evening.
Thank you. So we're going to take a picture with everyone and present you with your resolution and certificates. Because it is a large number, we'll just ask if we could just quickly go out to the staircase and do it out there, and then we'll come back in to continue the meeting. We thank everyone for your patience as we do this as quickly as possible. Thank you.
They don't see it.
right, Mr. Garcia.
On your call, Madam President.
Proceed.
Certainly.
First, let me thank everybody for your patience as we went and did that. That was a larger crowd for the presentation, so we thank you for bearing with us as we did the photos and everything. Go ahead, Mr. Garcia. Thank you.
Madam President, next on our agenda, we have a presentation. Is a cannabis application and is for Nirvana dispensaries.
Okay, thank you.
If that individual come forward, or individuals come forward. And gentlemen, if you have any handouts or anything for the council, if you want to give that to us now.
Elijah, be sure to turn the mic on when you're ready. Can somebody mute whatever's happening on Zoom?
We'll just wait until the handouts are finished being passed out. Thank you, guys.
Also, you have 10 minutes for your presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. All right. We'll just get- yeah. So, good evening. Good evening. My name is Elijah Dixon,
I'm Andre McNair.
and we are seeking approval to the City Council body to open up a Class 5 social equity dispensary. It would be a micro enterprise here in the city, located at 227 North Broad Street. That is within the Canal Banks redevelopment area. And as a handout, we have passed out an extended version of our business plan. We believe that a previous model, a previous iteration might have been circulated, but we've made some updates to include our financing strategy, as well as more on our security plan, since we felt as though it was it wasn't robust enough in the previous iteration of this. And so I'm just going to do a very brief introduction and pass it off to my partner, Andre, to introduce as well. So again, my name is Elijah Dixon, and I am a organizer, entrepreneur, and a community development professional here within the city. I live within the North Ward at 134 East Hanover Street, second floor. Also operate a cafe, Orchid House Cafe, on the first floor of the building there. And I and Andre have been embarking on this journey for the last, 2.5 years, but been preparing, and the concept of it has been about 5 years in the making. Pass it off to Andre.
Good evening, Council. My name is Andre McNair. I am a local entrepreneur here in the city, business developer. I do community organization work, all types of different things as well with that. Also investor, and I also live here in the city. I've always lived here in the city for 32 years. And I partner with Elijah with this project of 227 North Broad for the Nirvana Dispensary LLCs.
So we're just going to really quickly on page 2 of our handout, go over the high bullet points of our executive summary. So again, we're looking to locate at a 227 North Broad Street. We currently have a contract in place with a deposit, to close on the deal for the property. I believe the closing date is March 15th. And the building that we're looking to operate in has been vacant, so it's going to require total gut rehab to get us going. However, as it's further detailed on page 10 in our financing plan, we are listing our financing strategy for that. We're going to seek a construction loan to be able to fix up the building, and then we're going to invest our own equity, as well as using a loan capital from a family member for technology and point of sale systems, training for our staff, as well as the physical product. But we can get to that. The product and the whole premise of our business model, and I'll just speak very quickly to my history and with weed, or cannabis as it's called formally. I was smoking from about 15 to 25, and I had stopped because the cannabis and the weed that was presently available in the market, and I guess in like the illegal market, it was being cut up and people are spraying different things on it and they're crushing up pills. And one time I smoked and I got so high, and I'm young. I got so high. I'm like, this isn't natural. Like, this isn't real. And I became a very strong advocate for the legalized market, because I'm sure I was smoking something. I don't even want to fathom what it was, but it wasn't just weed. And we came together to come up with this unique proposition, which is to open up a dispensary, but to offer heirloom strains or land-raised strains, which is, so you think about if you guys are farmers or urban agriculture, you guys are into the whole urban agriculture field, there's these heirloom seeds where these are seeds that have not been genetically modified, so like they're like non-GMO form of weed, whereas today in the market, you go to any other dispensary, you'll see these hybrid strains that have super crazy THC amounts, and it's like really destructive for our minds over time. And so the strains that we would be prioritizing and offering to the market, they would be not readily available in other dispensaries. And these are like, as I was joking with somebody prior to coming up here, this is like a grandmother's weed, where maybe decades ago, you could smoke or you partake however you're going to partake, and you're not going to become slumped. This is more of like a creative, functional high, and that's more in line with our brand of thinking. Like, we're really down, I would say down to earth, but we both garden, and our produce is like non-GMO, and even at our cafe, it's like non-GMO ingredients, and that's how we're looking to approach this and bring to the public.
We also believe with these heirloom streams that we will also help with the target market. Our target market would be participants that are over the age of 21, but not only in the city of Trenton, but around surrounding areas as well. We believe with this dispensary opening and us bringing in a large market will also be great for the businesses around as well, for our downtown revitalization that we're going for. But we also just want to make sure that people are doing it the right way and they're doing it safe in a legal way.
And so we do have more information on, with our in terms of the product and the actual flowers. There would be edibles that we're also looking to sell, as well as paraphernalia such as rolling papers, things of that nature. But I think the main unique value proposition for our business model is that we would have seeds that are heirloom and like non-GMO. And so it's less of like a psychoactive high, more of like a functional. You can still, let's say, go to a meeting or send out some emails without feeling as if you're about to float away. And please feel free to stop us at any points. We're just looking to cover so much in about 10 minutes. So again, I think I mentioned that we're looking to open up a micro enterprise. So our license that we have from the state is a conditional Class 5 retail dispensary. So we can have no more than 10 employees and occupying no more than 1,000 square feet of space, at one point in time. And we have to maintain the ownership stake has to be what it is now, or at least 2/3 or something of that nature of the ownership stake has to still always qualify for that social equity status. In order for us to maintain our current license. However, after a couple of years, we do look to be able to expand and grow and eventually open up our ownership stake to our employees who have been with the company for more than a year. We have a very community-oriented approach, and I think as Andre had already, or might have mentioned, with our business, it's a social enterprise. So we're looking to hire from within the community. We actually, we legally cannot bring on any employees yet until they're vetted by the state. And there's a whole rigorous training process in which we've done research on. We've already expressed interest with the state's Business Act and State of New Jersey Business Action Center, which is offering a free training. And they have programs for social equity applicants such as ours, or licensees such as ours, in which we'd be able to get training, not just for ourselves as entrepreneurs, but also for our team members, which we're looking to hire right from within the city.
Excuse me. Even while venturing into opening the dispensary, we do notice that there are some weaknesses that we have to deal with. The look of the city. So we're looking to beautify this area as well, to bring more participants into the city. We also still do realize that there's opportunities because there are some illegal dispensaries here in the city as well that are operating. So we are putting up a plan together to try to make sure that, it's all done on a legal, the process is done legally. We also want to make sure that even with our employees that we're on the top of our business, we're offering housing for them as well at a very low rate. Just to give back to the community. We have also decided to invest 10% of our profits back into the community. That can go to either scholarships, that can go to any, potential, any other
STEAM programming
Yep.
and things of that nature.
Yep. Anybody else that wants to come on board and try to reinvest and things like that, we'll have this funding to help out with the community.
I'm just going to jump over to on page 8 of our handout. We have our security plan overview. Now, we've read the state's law back and front 20 times, all 250 pages, and so there's a lot more. But we'd have covered at least the high points here in terms of like security. We understand that the dynamic of the neighborhood and a lot of it's still perception. I actually live in a neighborhood, but a lot of it's perception. But there are some realities in terms of crime and violent crime, and so we are going to have to. The state mandates that we have to have security present at all times during the operations, but we will be having a security system that's backed up by a generating system, so that if the power goes out for our main system, then one, the Trenton Police Department will be notified, and two, the backup system, the security system would then trigger as well, and the Trenton Police Department would have access to that system, as would the state. The products themselves will not be viewable from the street level. So we have tinted windows, and they'll be locked up in a temperature controlled facility, as well as in different times a vault. And we have information here about the transfer of not just the product, but also of the money. So there's like a cash-based business largely, since many point of sale systems, your Visa, your MasterCards are not accepting cannabis dollars because it's still illegal on the federal level. And so we've identified several different vendors, who would serve as I guess a transportation specialist for us, that could transfer not just the product, but also the money that will be generated, and they would do it at irregular periods of time. That way it's not so predictable. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to jump to page 10 for the financing, bro, if you want to tag it, or I can finish off and then we can open for questions.
Okay, so for our financing, like Elijah had mentioned, the building needs a total rehab.
Floor is caved in.
The roof is caved in. It's kind of dangerous. We even took the doors off. It's hard to even get in the building. You have to look from outside. So we do know there are some opportunities with that. With our licensing, training, and things of that nature, it's going to be about $125,000 as far as the
startup costs.
The startup costs. For the building rehab, we're looking at about $425,000 for rehab.
And we have a relationship with a community development lender who actually provided our financing for our building at the corner of Perry and North Broad Street. And so we already have a conversation going with them. We've had architects in, structural engineers in, and so it's not going to be a cheap project. However, it is going to be structurally sound once it's done. And I think, as Andre mentioned earlier, the second and third floor, which historically was housing, we're then going to be able to use it for housing for our employees. So it'll be like employee housing subsidized, at like a subsidized cost, so that folks can still, one, we're going to be paying living wages, just like we're doing with our existing enterprises, and being able to provide subsidized housing so that, people have incentives to not just grow with us as we're growing, but, to have housing that's right above. So it's just very convenient. We actually do that for the cafe around the corner. So those are the high level points. And please, we open it up for questions. I know that there's probably some items that are pressing that we did not jump to. So if there's those questions,
Thank you, gentlemen. Council, are there any questions?
Council President.
You notice how to look. Councilwoman Williams.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
ma'am.
I want to say, very impressive gentleman. I know you've been quite diligent over these many months and trying to always do the right thing and study what the right thing is and always coming through. So I just want to acknowledge that publicly. You've always been very, very professional, and I very much appreciate that.
Thank you.
Just have a couple questions. Actually, one more thing. I really think it's awesome that you're going to be offering a percentage of profits to your employees. Because from what I've heard so far, that's not been mentioned before, and that's really great when a business can do that and share in the success. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
So regarding, right off, it was very, very good to see that the Philadelphia Reinvestment Fund is involved. I was wondering how you got started with them.
Yeah, so I actually work for, so the Reinvestment Fund is a nonprofit community development financial institution. They're like a nonprofit lender essentially that deploys capital and loans into like urban areas that have been redlined, by like more like mainstream lenders like your Wells Fargo, Bank of America, TD banks. And I used to work for New Jersey Community Capital, which is another CDFI. But NJCC, as they're called, could not provide. So when Andre and I had first purchased the building at the corner of 200 to 206 North Broad Street, we tried to get traditional financing through a TD bank, and like they wanted some astronomical amount down in equity, and that's just something that we didn't have. And so then I talked to the people I worked at my CDFI at the time, and they recommended the reinvestment fund out of Philly, and they were able to come in and do that deal for us. The woman's name is Nancy Gallagher. She was actually the chief investment officer there. We were very fortunate to be working there with her. She's now moved on to another organization. But so that's how we got connected to the reinvestment fund, and they've been supportive of our initiatives to date, and we're planning a major revitalization initiative for our Perry Street building. If Andre, I don't know if it actually doesn't even matter. Probably don't have to talk about it right now, but so that's how we got connected to them.
That's good. They're very impressive. Got an excellent reputation around the region. So as far as the security plan, it's great that you beefed that up. Did you have a chance for the police department to review it with you, just in case?
We have not yet.
Okay, that's just a suggestion you might.
Okay.
In the future. And then my last question is regarding a timeline, if financing comes through, you're approved, et cetera. Do you have a guesstimate of when you might be able to begin operations?
Should be. Okay, so it's
that didn't happen that quickly.
So it's not here. So like right now, and we actually just had an architect, actually two architects out at the building last week, and they're talking about 4 to 5 months just for like the design of the space. Since again, like the beams are collapsed, it's going to be a very it's like a very comprehensive project. Yeah, so it's going to be about 16 months in terms of for like 4 to 5. For actual design, and like another 8 to 9 to 10 even, depending on the city's inspection department, from when we can actually open up, but we're already like looking to align the financing so that, once like the design is done, we can then bid out the project to local contractors and be able to, and we actually have construction experience ourselves, but there's gonna be a certain degree of like specialty that's required in terms of meeting all of the state's requirements for like the security gates. They're gonna need like technical systems and lighting. So all of that, we're going to get panic buttons here, trying to get some specialists in. So it's going to take, realistically speaking, it's going to take time. It's about 16 months, but that's a realistic estimate based off of our previous construction experience.
Okay, thank you very much, and good luck, gentlemen. Thank you, Council President.
Council President? Oh, go ahead. She was first. You were first?
Gonzalez. I'll defer.
I think she was first. Sorry.
Council President.
Councilwoman, I just looked straight ahead.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee, thank you.
So I want to thank you both for bringing this to us and also for the revision. I think you've done a thorough job, a very good job. The only question that I see, and not necessarily for the police, because this would also be for any security agency, is just considering the idea of having armed security. I did see that you have panoramic cameras in all areas with a operation such as this, even, and it may be something that you just want to start out with, and maybe you find a need that is not needed to come later on, but just for your safety to start out with something that you have someone that is armed in there, at least during the moments, and you'll feel your way through. So that's really my only comments for this. Is I think it's well thought out. I love the idea that you're giving back to the community. I love that you're giving to the employees. That is fantastic. I love that it is 2 minorities that are starting this as well. I appreciate you sharing, Elijah, your experience. and your reasoning for doing that, because no one can have your experience except you. And so you'll be the best teacher for others. And also that is GMO, non-GMO. I also appreciate that also that you guys will be taking quality, bringing quality into our community. So all of those things I am grateful for, and for whatever purposes it's going to be used for, I trust that it'll be the best quality that you're bringing to those who will be partaking. So thank you.
Thank you. So they kind of cover, I was really going to ask about the police, if you collaborated with the police too, but she asked that question, so that was good. Also, just if you, first of all, thank you for the presentation. I think it's very well thought out. I know you guys put a lot of time, and thank you for wanting to continue to invest in our city. Like, you guys have invested already and you continue to want to do that, so thank you for that. That was my main question, was the collaboration with the police. But I just want to just say I'm commending you also on the housing and providing housing for your employees. I think that's awesome. We haven't heard that at all with any of the presentations we've heard so far. I do have a question, because I would hate for them to take so much time out. Would they be considered a part of our 10? And that question really would go to the attorney. Okay, I'll wait till the attorney gets here. That's all. But thank you.
Anyone else?
Council President.
Councilwoman Edwards.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, good to see you today. I'm very excited and thoroughly impressed by your presentation and your application here and your business plan. Thank you for providing a copy of this in person, and taking the time to just address our issues, address our concerns, and inform us on what your business plan is. I just want to say that on the record, you guys are two community-oriented people, some of the most community-oriented people I know in your age group. And the fact that you guys consistently invest and reinvest in our community, I think that you are a great example of what we need and what we're looking for this industry, and as business owners in general. So I just wanted to commend you on that. I look at you as stakeholders. You guys own not just this property, but the one at the corner as well. Properties on Hanover as well, and you're very invested in revitalizing the neighborhood. And I am aware that you hosted a community like meeting or something like that. So you are doing the outreach to let people know what you're looking to do in the area and working with the local business owners and property owners. So I do commend you on that as well, because this building that you're trying to rehab right now is horrible. Like, I'm surprised that it's still standing. So I'm glad to see two minorities owning that and doing something with it after all these decades of it sitting there vacant and dilapidated. So you do have your work cut out for you. So good luck with that. And I definitely want to commend you on using non-GMO heirloom seeds. So that's something that we definitely need. We deal with a lot of chemicals in our food that cause a lot of obesity and a lot of medical issues, asthma, you name it. So I do commend you on that, because safe consumption is also a part of the process. So thank you, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to partially echo, right, the sentiments of my colleagues, and say that it is commendable, you two young men, that continue to say yes to Trenton and to sow back into Trenton. And so we thank you for that, right? From your building on Broad to the Orchid House to everything that you two have touched, that it continues to blossom into something sustainable, worthwhile, and a benefit to the city. So thank you for that, right? I also know you are a part of Councilwoman Edwards Young Pros Network. And so my hope is that through your conversations and talking through to other young professionals, right? That she'll look to bring them into the city as well and get them to see the beauty and richness that does exist here in the city, that others will come and say yes to Trenton. So young Black entrepreneurs, I love to see it. I am open to all entrepreneurs, let me be clear with that. But I am proud because when I'm teaching at the school, I tell my students to be the success story and not the statistic. And you two are wonderful examples for our younger generation and for your own children of what is possible through hard work, through dedication and perseverance. So I thank you for your commitment to the city of Trenton and wish you the very best with this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia?
Certainly. Madam President, this time we have arrived at public comment.
Okay.
The public comment clipboard could be brought up. Thank you so much. Thank you. And for the public comment is 5 minutes for each individual. Please do know that the public comment is not a Q&A session, so you are able to address whatever you wish. The council is not obligated to respond. Thank you. Our first individual up for public comment is Algernon Ward. Yes. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. And City Council, I'd like to introduce myself. And many of you would say that we know who you are, but I'm not sure that's true. You know me, but you don't know my story. I was born here in the city of Trenton on Clinton Avenue in a hospital called Trenton General Hospital. That hospital doesn't exist anymore. It's on the same place where the Trenton Board of Education now stands. It moved out to Hamilton and now it's Robert Wood Johnson Hospital.
Mr. Ward, I'm so sorry and I do apologize. If you would be so kind, could you just state your name, also your address for the record?
I'm coming to it.
You got it.
Algernon Ward Jr., also known as Algie the Great from the Garden State, is 688 Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Thank you, sir.
I was born, as I said, in 1953 at Trenton General Hospital. At the time, my parents lived on the Southern Street Bridge. Many of you don't know, there used to be houses on the side of the Southern Street Bridge where the Princeton Delivery Center is. There were homes there, and my parents lived there. My father had come to Trenton from West Virginia and brought my mother here, and shortly after she arrived in Trenton, she gave birth to me. So I'm Trenton born and bred. We moved to South Trenton, lived on 454 Lamberton Street, where I went to Parker School and Junior 4. I made many of my growing up friends in South Trenton, under the bridge, as we call it. And lived there until about the 6th grade, where I then moved to our first family home on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And when I moved to, Princeton Avenue, because that was a step up. All of my neighbors were white. We lived across the street from the Nightlife Bar, which was owned by Miss Rainey, who lived next door to me, a white woman. On the other side was Mr. Jimmy, an Italian family, who gave me my first taste of homemade wine that he made in his basement. And most of my neighbors lived in the Donnelly homes, which was predominantly white. It was the NAACP that argued a case to allow African Americans to get to move in Donnelly homes. And within about 5 years, white flight to the suburbs completely changed the complexion of the Donnelly homes, which is now almost 100% African American. So I grew up in the 60s. I'm a baby boomer. So at the early age, I'm saying about 13 years old, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, my social awareness blossomed. And from that time forward, I dedicated myself to human rights. And I bring that up now because from that early age, I felt that calling and I dedicated my life to serving my peeps here in the city of Trenton. Because I felt that very strongly. I was there when John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated, when his brother Robert was assassinated, when Martin Luther King was assassinated. So my generation felt a strong dedication to the environment, women's rights, gay rights. So I've always felt that calling and always dedicated my efforts to that cause. Now I'm coming to the point of why I came here tonight. On October, I want to say about 25th, stomach started hurting me, and for a couple of days I had bad stomach pain. So I went to the hospital on October 27th for a CT scan to figure out what it was. Well, the diagnosis came back: irregular wall thickening concerning gastric cancer, hepatic metastasis is spread, gastrohepatic and periportal lymphadenectomy. Both the stomach and the area around it were infected with cancer. Omental nodules and masses in my stomach. Non-specific adrenal gland thickening spread to my liver and my lymph nodes. Stage 4. Inoperable. It's a death sentence. Now, I have not cried about this from the moment I received my diagnosis. Men don't cry. But when you come face to face with your own death, shedding a tear can be excused. But I've saved my tears to share them with you, my peeps, all of my Trenton peeps. So I ask that you please indulge me as I share my tears with you. The reasons I had for not sharing this, it's like Lord Austin, the Secretary of Defense. He gave an explanation of why he didn't disappear for a week and nobody knew where he was. He was in a hospital suffering from prostate cancer. And he said, this huge, big man, Secretary of Defense warrior for the United States, said it was a body blow. He didn't quite know how to handle it. And for the same reasons, you keep your business to yourself. And I felt that same thing. But he also said at the end of his speech, that was a mistake. Because his example could be example to other Black men to get their prostate cancer diagnosis. And King Charles of Great Britain points out that it spares no one by title or race. So I'm sharing my cancer awareness story with you all tonight, that you must pay attention to your health. I lost over 40 pounds from October until now. I have my chemotherapy bag now. I'm in my 7th cycle of chemotherapy. And the good news is that I'm no longer in pain. I'm regaining my energy. I picked up a few pounds in the last couple of weeks, and my appetite's returning. So my chemotherapy seems to be working. And that's through the prayers and love of my family and close friends who I have informed. So I ask you, my friends, my Trenton peeps, say a prayer for me. I think that's the reason why this chemotherapy is working. It's not just a medicine, it's your prayers. So I came here tonight to share that with you all because I've spent my life loving the people of Trenton and them loving me back. As I said, it was a death sentence, but I'm not ready to die. I got too many things to do. The Trenton Community Credit Union is exactly the kind of institution that we need in Trenton so people like Elijah will have the funds they need without going to Philadelphia. Find it right here at home. The Locust Hill Black Museum, where we can celebrate the contributions of our ancestors from right here in Trenton. That's an important project. We've gotten most of the funding, but we're not done yet. I still want to indulge in Trenton's Black history through the reenacting groups, the 6th Regiment United States Colored Troops, who are in very high demand during Black History Month, and the 1st Rhode Island Regiment that talks about the Revolutionary War history of African Americans. In the City of Trenton Health Department, it's in a shambles. Our city suffered more COVID deaths than anybody in this county, and we have not fixed it. It's in worse shape today than it was during the height of the COVID pandemic. And it's for City Council. You got to fix this. This is life and death. And I'm going to constantly be in your ear about it until we have taken the necessary steps to protect the lives of the people here in the city of Trenton. So there's still a lot of work for me to do. And with your prayers, my health will be restored long enough that we can get these important projects done. But nobody can say, this is something that's in the hand of our Lord and Savior, in the hands of God. So I've submitted to that. But I appreciate that you gave me the indulgence to share my tears with you. And I'm going to fight. I'm from North Side, South Side. You mess with me, that's not a good idea because I will fight you. And when you mess with my peeps, I will fight you. I don't want to fight, but I will when it's have to. But that fighting spirit, I think, is what kept me going through this trial. So I won't take any more of your time. I just want to thank you for your love and your prayers. And may God bless you. From Algie the Great, from the Garden State, at 688, King of Trenton.
So before we continue, Mr. Garcia, I just want to say a few words to you, Algie. Know that you are in our thoughts and in our prayers. Thank you for taking a courageous step to come forward to share openly what it is that you shared with us tonight. Certainly, it's not an easy thing to hear, to even go through, but we're rooting for you. I'm rooting for you and praying that God will give you exactly what it is that you need to continue to press forward and persevere. And just know that, Trenton loves you. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. But one thing about the city of Trenton and the great people in it is that when someone is in need or is going through, we tend to rally around the person together and can put all of that other stuff aside. So just know that we're with you. You're in our thoughts and in our prayers. All right? God bless you. Mr. Garcia, you can continue.
Certainly. Leslie Wilborn. I'm sorry? Oh, gotcha. Understood. No problem. In that case, Madam President, we have no other members for public comment this time. And if you wish, we can proceed into all business.
Okay, you may proceed. Thank you.
Certainly. Excuse me. Madam President, we have minutes for approval. If you want to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of September 5th, September 21st, October 17th, September 7th, October 3rd, October 19th, and December 5th minutes, all of 2023.
You said September 5th.
I'm sorry, September
7th.
5th, September 7th, September 21st, October 3rd, October 17th, October 19th, and December 5th.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 5th,
So
7th, 21st, October 3rd, 17th, 19th, and December 5th?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve communications and petitions.
1 second. Mr. Garcia, just a quick question.
Certainly.
There's no minutes from November?
Not at this time yet. There is
Still
a
working.
draft, but we will have those at your next public meeting.
Thank you. You may
Certainly.
continue. Thank you, sir.
Where were we? I'm sorry. We were at communications and petitions. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve communications and petitions.
Yes. May I
So
have a
moved.
motion to approve communications and petitions and reports?
Yes, thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia, can you call the roll?
Certainly. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Moving on to ordinances for second reading and public hearing. We are at ordinance 24-2, ordinance amending and supplementing Trenton City Code to regulate the use of fireworks within the city of Trenton. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia,
Certainly.
please call the roll.
Certainly. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-6, calendar year 2024, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 40A:4-4514 in the amount of $6,811,066.85. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to resolutions. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve a consent agenda consisting of resolutions 24-31, 24-33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, And that will be all of your resolutions for your consent agenda. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve.
May I have a motion to approve all the resolutions that have been read into the record by Mr. Garcia?
So moved.
Second. Second.
Certainly. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. On to roll call resolutions. Resolution 24-32, resolution authorizing the settlement of a workers' compensation claim in the matter of Jose Aroa versus the City of Trenton, claim petition number 2016-8231 and 2017-23834, and the claim amount of $25,090, including attorney fees and costs.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia, if you could call the roll.
Certainly, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. On to ordinances for first reading and introduction. Ordinance 24-7, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 14 of the Code of the City of Trenton, traffic four-way stop intersections as it applies to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Ingham Avenue.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia, call the roll.
Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-008, capital ordinance providing for improvements to the West State Street and Sanhegan Drive Improvement Project 11 by the City of Trenton in County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,309,938 to pay for the cost thereof, which amount will be refunded by a grant from fiscal year 2024 municipal aid program received or expected to be received by the city from the New Jersey Department of Transportation.
May I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Garcia, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay. Ordinance 24-9, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 14 of the Code of the City of Trenton, traffic one-way streets as it applies to Hill Avenue.
So.
Aisle.
May I have a
Aisle.
So moved.
May I have a motion to
That
approve?
motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia, if you could call the roll.
Certain. Moving second, call the roll. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-10, ordinance continuing certain positions, fixing salary ranges, therefore, and setting forth certain regulations for the implementation of the same analyst trainee, assistant purchasing agent, senior program development specialist, aging, yard supervisor.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia, the roll.
Certainly. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-11, ordinance to revise certain positions, fixing salary ranges, therefore, and setting forth certain regulations for the implementation of the same: administrative secretary, employee benefit specialist, paralegal specialist, account clerk, senior account clerk, principal account clerk, management assistant, sanitary driver.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia?
Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison, Yes. Councilwoman Williams
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-12, ordinance amending and supplementing section 150-3 of the Trenton City Code relating to penalties for illegal dumping.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Garcia.
Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ordinance 24-13, bond ordinance providing for phase 4 of the lead service line replacement program in the Trenton Waterworks service area by the city of Trenton and county of Mercer, state of New Jersey, appropriating $10 million and therefore authorizing the issuance of $10 million in bonds or notes for finance, to finance the cost thereof.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia.
Certainly. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, I believe we have a walked-on resolution,
Yes.
and our walk-on resolution is Resolution 24-46, resolution in support of Kingsbury Preservation LLC's funding application to the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage, Mortgage Finance Agency for the Kingsbury Towers multifamily housing project and authorizing an agreement for payment in lieu of taxes between the city of Trenton and Kingsbury Preservation LLC.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garcia.
Certainly. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, at this time, I believe we have arrived at civic comments.
Yes, thank you. Tonight we'll begin with Councilwoman Williams.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's really important. I do want to share with Mr. Ward, thank you for sharing what you shared with us tonight. I'm sorry that you're fighting this. I have family, my sister, my brother, and my nephew fought this same terrible medical condition. I know you're strong. I know you will fight this like hell, and the city is behind you, and we all are behind you, and we'll keep you on our thoughts and our prayers. So please know that each day. But it's important for people to go get checked and people to have their health care monitored, just as you said. And that's an important lesson for all of us. So thank you for reminding us of that.
I'd like to respond by thanking you for your generous comments. And also, I didn't get a chance to speak on the four-way traffic stop sign.
Yeah, okay. I was going to actually, if you give me a moment, I'll probably fill you in on that.
Yeah,
But
we would like.
Council President, how you would you like to?
Oh, Council, you take.
Okay, that's okay. So I just, so what situation, just because you bring that up, I wanted to make sure that we're clear on that. It's because the process, it's been approved for a street light, but the street light installation, all the reviews, the funding, all the entire process, design, et cetera, may take 18 months. It's also been approved in the interim to put a four-way stop there with lit stop signs. So at least we would have something at that intersection until a street light can be installed. And you're hopefully, we're also going to be placing other traffic calming measures at that intersection. So thank you very much for bringing that petition to us previously. But we definitely are going to be putting a street light in just because of the way you have to have everything done, architecture, state regulations, and so forth. It's just going to take longer than we would like, but we have to do it the way that the process is done. You're welcome, sir. So I just will be real brief. I just want to thank again the Nirvana dispensaries and Andre and Elijah for coming tonight. And I won't brag too much. I know I always do that, but I'm very glad that you're part of this city and you are great entrepreneurs and you are very caring entrepreneurs at that for our city. So I'll just leave with a quick reminder. Also, tomorrow for Black History Month, we have a really great event here at City Hall. It's going to be an emergency responder and health expo. And that's going to be tomorrow from 12 to 2 p.m. in the atrium. So please spread the word for that. It'd be great for folks to meet our first responders, but also be a part of the healthcare proponent of this. And then I'll just say finally with this is more so from our safety instead because some constituents have brought this up to me as we're trying to improve things and improve quality of life. If we could start spreading word for people not to double park in streets, particularly our smaller streets, and we all do it. I'm guilty. I've done it in the past, but with so many more cars in the city, it is getting very dangerous. We have problems with people double parking on Market Street and main thoroughfares. So it's just one of those things we need to start looking out for each other. We also need to remind our neighbors, our friends, we got to start doing with ourselves. We have to start obeying the laws. We just have a new ordinance that's going to be a fine of $300 for parking in front of a fire hydrant because it's very, very important and puts people in danger. But we need to do things where we don't need a parking enforcement officer or a cop to tell us to do the right thing. So that's it. And I just want to wish you all a great weekend. God bless. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Harrison.
First, I would like to thank Andre and their wonderful proposal here. It's unbelievable that you two young men are not only out in the streets doing community cleanups, do anything you can to promote a positive message to give back for the next generation, but you're leading example to show others that here's the way to do it and how to help the next generation. So I commend you for all you do. To Mr. Ward, I've been seeing you many years, just like myself, been coming to these council meetings for many years. So my prayers are with you and your family. When you spoke tonight, everybody up here on this dais had a tear in our eyes. So it affected everybody in this room. So my prayers are with you, knowing you many years. And I'll be hoping and praying that things get better for you because you've been here and you've always commendably stood up for the North Ward, but actually for the people of this great city for many years. So you're right. I know you're a fighter, but there's a lot of people that know you and know how hard you love this city. So my heart is with you. And then I would like to state tonight, Sunday, Super Bowl. Tig Brown is playing his Super Bowl, local Trenton, which is unbelievable. So hopefully everybody will be rooting for the 49ers on Sunday. My heart is that I want Tig not only win that Super Bowl, to make that winning interception, to seal the game for the 49ers, and hope he's the MVP of the Super Bowl. Because Tig's a prime example of being at that high school and staying there and signing all those kids' autographs and take a picture with every kid. That's the NFL player you want to see. That's a kid that gets it. He's born and bred in the city of Trenton, and he loves the city. So let's go Tig Brown. Let's go 49ers. Let's bring home that Super Bowl. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes. So thank everyone for being present. Thank you, Mr. Ward. We all share the same sentiments. We all love and appreciate all of your work, your advocacy, your fighting for the city, not just for the North Ward, but for Trenton. And our prayers are with you and your family. Just want to say thank you again to Elijah and Andre as you guys continue to impress us. Every project that you guys want to put your stamp on, you guys are doing it well. So thank you for continuing to want to invest in our city. I'm going to be very, very brief tonight. Just want to say congratulations to our D9 family. I know Councilwoman Feliciano came up with this idea and it was fitting. And I know people see us with letters on and you see our colors and you may see us stroll or party, dancing around, but we do a lot more in our community. We try to positively impact the lives of those in our area. And I just want to say congratulations to the entire D9 family. Thank you to all of you for being present. And I just want to say tomorrow, Trenton High plays tomorrow and Saturday. We also have the Puerto Rican Day Parade is doing their event Saturday, February 10th from 6 to 10 p.m. at St. Mary's. And then you also have the NAACP who will have their event at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And that would be at Cooper. So if you are able to support either of the events, there's tons of things going on, as we stated, on Tuesday. So please just look out for flyers or information, as there are a lot of events going on during the month of Black History Month. Also, as Councilman Harrison said, we have Jair Brown, who is playing in the Super Bowl. I am always going to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Let me just make that publicly clear. I've actually been getting blamed because I put on my TIG, my 49ers outfit for the game, and ever since then, the Eagles been losing. But Jair Brown is like a nephew to me. I watched this young man grow from the Trenton Tornadoes. He played at Trenton Potwater, went on to play at Trenton Central High School, not only football, but basketball. And even when he went off to college, that young man came back with his classmates and his teammates, and he came and he made sure that he invested in our kids, and he continues to do that. So he's one that we want to support. So we're going to say, can't believe I'm going to say it, Tig, and you already know, but I'm going to say go Niners for the Super Bowl. Let's all enjoy the Super Bowl game responsibly. Thank you all for being present this evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Frisbee.
It's not. I'm telling everybody else. Good evening, everyone. I just want to start off like the rest of my colleagues and acknowledge Mr. Algie. We have been doing in many circles for several years, and your dedication, your devotion to Trenton is commendable, and I know the fight is not over. You showed us, if nothing else, what you are made of during the campaign season. Fight is the only thing that we know to be in you. What you have planted here, these seeds, be it for the locust group, be it for the Black historians, with everything you put your hands to, it is done with your heart. And so know that we're praying for you. Know that we are fighting with you. If you need, you have majority of our numbers up here. We're a phone call away, whatever we can do. But thank you for pushing us to do better, to be better at all times. And you are appreciated for that if you have not been told. We do appreciate what you do. We appreciate who you are and how you show up for our community. Everything that you do, we know that it all comes from a genuine place. And I'm grateful for all that you do, the road that you have already laid for us. And I know that it's not over. I continue to watch you, listen to you, and move to see how you honor your people. And I honor you on this evening, Algie. You're welcome. And you don't have to ever cry alone. We've got you. Know that. When it comes to the Divine Nine, I am glad to have been a part of this. I commend Council President for coming up with this idea. I think it was absolutely fantastic. And to see everybody come here in their excellence was absolutely wonderful. When it comes to Nirvana, Andre, we've been working together for some years. As a matter of fact, at the top of the pandemic, kicked it off for us. And you're just high quality. Whatever you've put your hands to has been prosperous. Elijah, the exact same thing. You guys move in excellence. And I appreciate how you show up in our community. You don't show up half-past. Everything you gentlemen do, you do it the way it's supposed to be done. Your presentation, you move the way it should be done, the way we are proud to see you in our community. So kudos to you, hats off to you for how you're moving in our community. Keep up the good work and showing up as role models. They're role models for your children. You're role models for the young men and women that are in our community, especially being so young in the community. You are absolutely great examples of how to do it and how to do it right. You know, and not having to go back and reinvent the wheel. You're learning how to do it off the wheels of what others have done, seeing what was done and wasn't done right, and you're getting it right. So kudos to you. Thank you for how you come in, and thank you for how you come up and you show up in this room. Of course, I'm voting for Tig. Jair Brown was just all over the place, 49ers everywhere. We're proud of him, excited for him. And I do want to acknowledge how he came back to the city and continues to come back and gives back. Seeing him working out with the students on the field was absolutely commendable. He didn't have to do it, but he did. And so we commend him for doing just that. It was already mentioned that the NAACP, they are having their event this Saturday at Cooper's. Tickets are $85. They are still on sale. We would love to have you come out. And I want to thank some folks from online did reach out to me, and I do have the flyers now for the United Way, the 4 places that if you make $65,000 or less, there are 4 places in the community that you can get your taxes done for free. One is the Boys and Girls Club on Spruce Street. The other one is the Hamilton Public Library in Hamilton, New Jersey, one Justice Samuel Alto Way. The third one is Salvation Army Trenton, 575 East State Street. And the fourth one is United Way of Greater Mercer on Quaker Bridge Road in Hamilton, New Jersey. There are lots of flyers. They're both in English and in Spanish that I have. And again, if anyone needs to reach out to me, I appreciate folks calling to get the information. The other one was the FBI job, the internship program. That information, the applications opened on February 12th, and they close on March 1st. There is a scan code, so if anybody needs this, I will actually leave this at the clerk's office. So if anyone wants to come to the city, they can do that. As a matter of fact, what I will do is all the flyers that I have, I will leave there. All of them have scan codes, so anyone who wants to, they can come to the clerk's office. The other one, Let's Film. This is absolutely fantastic for anyone who's looking to get into the filming industry. That's being done by the James R. Hounsley Foundation.
All right.
And our classes will be held on Franklin Street here in the city of Trenton.
Councilwoman, I apologize, but that is your time.
That was not 5 minutes.
Yes, it was.
It was
I promise it was.
Children's
It was
Future.
5 minutes and 10 seconds.
They'll be right there. Can I take 30 seconds, 10 seconds?
Through the chair, through the president.
Okay. The city's mission statements in regard, recognizing that the people of Trenton have made us guardians in the public trust. We are committed to govern with integrity and fiscal responsibility, to seek excellence in the city's operations, and to serve all the city's people with respect and compassion. Thank you, and everyone get home safely. Thank you.
Mr. Garcia, put the sound on. Put the sound on the timer. You
Got it. Got it.
But when
My
you're
apologies.
you're in the zone. So just put
I
the
was kind
sound
of holding
on.
it up. We're gonna have to get something for right here. And-
No, I have the timer in the back. I just
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
bring it out so we can show the people. So that's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilwoman Edwards.
I wasn't ready. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. There's so many things that I want to say today, but I'll start off with saying congratulations to Jair Tig Brown on going to the Super Bowl. I can't believe I'm saying this as an Eagles fan, but I'm definitely rooting for the Niners this year, and that hurts to say that. But before I was an Eagles fan, I was a Trentonian, so I have to go with Trenton all the way. So I'm praying that he brings home the chip, and we definitely have to, show up and show out for him. And congratulations to his mother and the rest of his family too. I know they're absolutely elated on his success. I mean, being a rookie in the NFL first year, being drafted, like that's just unheard of. It's amazing, and Trenton does breed greatness. And on that note, we also breed fighters. We don't go down without a fight. Anyone that you know from Trenton, throw a stone. We all have a story. And Algie, you and I share a lot of memories. And I'm not going to sit up here and give you some type of eulogy as if you're going to be gone, because you have a lot more time left on this earth. You have a lot more work to do, and we have a lot more memories to build. I'm sure you will see me in my indigenous garments. And I'm sure that you will make a beautiful museum. A beautiful, beautiful museum, and I'll be there to continue to help and continue to raise money with you and bring attention to that area and everything else that you're involved in. You do God's work here on earth. So, and He has the last word, and there's power in prayer, and I will be praying for you. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And for those who are watching at home, who cannot be with us tonight, this evening, I share my council colleagues' sentiments. Elijah and Andre, I mean, you guys continue to do great things. I'm really proud of you guys. The community's proud of you guys. And I just want you guys to bring some of that energy to South Trenton. Just to bring it on. Just bring it on to South Trenton. So, but congratulations. You guys are really doing great things, and you guys keep pouring into the community. So thank you for that. Okay. Algernon. We don't have each other's phone numbers. We don't call each other. You know, we don't sit down and have coffee. You sat up here, the courage you had, and you sat up here. I have respect for you. You sat up here and you had the courage to share your story. And I saw my dad. He went through what you went through. He didn't have the opportunity you have right now. You have a fighting chance. And he didn't speak as eloquently as you do, but he had a lot of passion. And so just thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the courage you have, and use that to be your light in your fight, because there's so many people who look up to you, you know, and just keep being the advocate that you are. Just thank you for sharing that. Council President Feliciano.
Thank you, Jenna.
Your fellow Lamberton Street. Thank you.
I live in the West Street.
We don't care about that. Council President Feliciano, can you please give the announcement? Thank you. Thank you.
Are we offline? Are we offline?
Check the wire behind your foot.
I don't know.
Oh, can you check the wire behind your foot? Behind me? No, behind you, Mr. Garcia. It's okay. Okay, well, we'll keep going. That's all right. Bear with us 1 second. It's okay. We're going to keep going in the essence of time. It's all right. Figure it out. So, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to yield 2 minutes of my time to Mr. Andre English, who has something that he wants to say to council about the fireworks ordinance. He actually came from work, so he missed the comment, but it's something that I'd like my colleagues to hear, just to hear what he has to say. So we're giving 2 minutes to him to go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. English.
Understood. Go ahead.
Press the button to turn your mic on, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Initially, I had certain concerns about the fireworks.
Put to your mouth.
Thank you. Initially, I had certain concerns about the fireworks and what it would do to the city. The elderly, the small children's. So I thought about it. I said, okay, what if the fireworks are allowed to go by permit request? So that way, if you had a permit request on any celebration, you would know aforetime when the celebration is coming up. And that way you would be able to make proper requests for a permit, not a license. So in having a permit for hypothetically $35, it would allow residents to have time and also obtain a permit and then light off the fireworks. But the permit would essentially mandate that a fire extinguisher would be locally or centrally located, a safe environment. It would be, in a form of agreement that the residents would have to fill out in requesting a permit. Secondly, or thirdly, it would stop like premature fireworks going off from kids who find it legal or people find it legal to just light off firecrackers, whether to annoy neighbors or, just to cause problems and just make noise, unnecessary noise. So this is what I present, and just, not stopping it, but having a greater sense of responsibility for those who would like to light off fireworks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so in the ordinance, it has the part about the permit already in there, right? But I wanted you to say what you wanted to say anyway, because you came from work, and we just wanted to make sure to get you on the record because you missed that time to be able to say it. Right. Right. Okay. So it would have to be a state permit because there's certain fireworks that aren't allowed. But the state would have to regulate that. But thank you for that commentary, Mr. English, in your time. So I would just like to also congratulate Jair Brown on making it to the Super Bowl. I am also a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I do have a 49ers jersey in support of Tig, right? Because he represents Trenton. So we want to rock out with him all the way. His mother is going to be interviewed on 94.5 tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. My daughter had texted me to let me know. So if anybody's around and can listen in tomorrow morning, 94.5, Jair's mom, Joy Ingram, is going to be interviewed by the radio station. I just want to say shout out again to Andre, Elijah. Thank you for doing what you do. Algernon, I've said what I had to say with regards to you. My prayers and love is with you. You need anything, you let me know. In closing, I want to announce Councilwoman Edwards, myself, and Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg are hosting Lunch with a Cop on February 19th. That's President's Day at the McDonald's on Cash Street. And that's going to be from noon to 1:30 p.m. There's also a Coffee with a Cop that day that's happening at the Dunkin' Donuts on Pennington Avenue at Pennington and Parkway in the city. So they'll be doing Coffee with a Cop in the morning, and then we're going to shift on over to the McDonald's on Cash Street and do Lunch with a Cop. So that way people can meet Trenton's finest, talk to some of us, hang out, and have a good time. That being said, thank you all for coming out tonight once again. God bless and safe travels going home. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Garcia.
Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Vice President Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee. Yes. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams. And Council President Feliciano.
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.